This is a Storm Team weather report.
This is meteorologist Ken Schulz. Again, we're tracking some severe weather into the Louisville metropolitan area this morning. Southern Breckinridge County now under a severe thunderstorm warning until 6 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. That's because we've had severe weather in Ohio County. That's now pushing up into southern Breckinridge County. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 6 o'clock this morning. Folks, down the line in Grayson, Hardin, Meade counties, be on your toes because this cell, if it doesn't weaken, may bring some severe weather to your counties over the next half hour to 1 hour. We have a line of intense and severe thunderstorms stretching all along the Ohio River back down into Ohio County this morning. The activity is moving to the east. These storms, even if they're not severe, are capable of torrential rain, some gusty winds, and some hail. Again, we're under a tornado watch until 8 o'clock this morning. We'll have a complete look at the weather coming up in just a few minutes as Good Morning Kentuckiana comes around at 5:30. I'm Ken Schulz.
This has been a Storm Team weather report. Stay tuned to the news channel for more details. Now back to our regular programming. This is a Storm Team weather report.
As promised, we're keeping you up to date on the severe weather moving into the Louisville area this morning. You can see a line of broken, heavy, and intense, and in some cases severe thunderstorms that stretches from Scott County, Indiana, on down into Meade County, Kentucky, farther off to our west out towards Ohio County. We have sporadic reports of some heavy and intense thunderstorm activity, some wind damage in parts of western Kentucky out around Paducah this morning. And it's that line that continues to travel to the east. It's this line that is responsible for a whole slew of flash flood warnings that are in effect for parts of south central and southwestern Indiana, parts of western Kentucky. And again, I'm just going to tell you the fact that when a line of thunderstorms moves through your community, a flash flood potential does exist. May or may not be preceded by a warning, but just pretend that as soon as the next raindrop falls in your county, the potential for some flooding does exist. Now, we have some severe weather to pass on to you, some severe weather warnings. Let's take a look at Doppler radar. Weather Service has just issued a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45 this morning for Jefferson and Scott counties of Indiana. Jefferson County up to our northeast, right along the Ohio River. Scott County, where you see the blinking lights, that's where we have indications of winds exceeding 55 miles per hour and severe thunderstorms. So Scott County, that storm is moving to the northeast into Jefferson County. So these two counties, severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45 Eastern Daylight Time. We also have a few intense cells showing up to our west right now in Harrison County, Meade, and Breckinridge counties. To our west and southwest, these aren't showing any strong gusty winds yet, but it's part of that same line. So some intense thunderstorms will be moving into Jefferson County here over the next half hour and could produce some torrential rain, vivid, dangerous lightnings, and perhaps some strong gusty winds, as well as, again, that possibility for some flooding rain. So these are the latest warnings out. Jefferson and Scott counties of Indiana, severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45 this morning, and Ohio County to our west. You have a severe thunderstorm warning until 4:30 Central Daylight Time. That's the latest. We'll keep you up to date throughout the morning. Good Morning Kentuckiana starts at 5:30. I'm Ken Schulz.
This has been a Storm Team weather report. Stay tuned to the news channel for more details. Now back to our regular program.
With them in just a few minutes. Right now you're looking at live Doppler radar and you can see the storm system moving now into Jefferson County. Our Ken Schulz has been tracking it all morning long. He's been a busy man already. If you've been watching TV, let's head to him in the weather office with the very latest. And Ken, I guess we're going to get clobbered again this morning.
Looks like the heaviest activity is in the Louisville area right now, actually stretching along the Ohio River from Jefferson County, Indiana into Jefferson County, Kentucky, and then downstream into Breckinridge, Ohio, Muhlenberg counties of Kentucky. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Jefferson and Scott counties for another 15 minutes. We have southern Breckinridge County under a severe thunderstorm warning until 6 o'clock this morning, and those are the thunderstorm warnings still in effect. Now, frankly, we have a list of flash flood warnings for counties to our west and south that is very, very long. The point I'm making here right now, the ground is saturated throughout our viewing area. With any kind of heavy thunderstorms that might roll across your community here this morning, the potential for flash flooding exists. With or without a warning, the threat is there. That's why we have a flash flood watch. So if you live in a flood-prone area, keep a close watch on that situation through the balance of the morning. Again, you may not have a warning issued, but localized flooding will be indeed. a good possibility with any kind of heavy rainfall early this morning. So we have severe weather in the region, we have heavy rain in the region, and the potential for more to come. Our forecast for this day, we start off with rain and thunderstorms. In fact, we start off under a tornado watch, which has now been extended and moved off to the east. And basically, if you're listening, if you're watching, you're under a tornado watch until noon today. We'll have heavy rain and thunderstorms starting off the day. Temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s by lunchtime. Late this afternoon, more of the same. May have another round of heavy showers and thunderstorms then, with our high temperature of 75 degrees. And right at this moment, we are getting perhaps another warning in. I don't know if you want to come back to me in just a minute or two, but the live active weather, obviously, in the region. So another warning is coming across, and I'll be back here in just a couple seconds.
Okay, as soon as you get it, we'll come right back to you, Ken. Thank you very much.
Another line of storms, as you just saw, is getting ready to move through Kentuckiana. In fact, is moving through right now, and people are now ready for more of that flooding.
That's right. If you watched us yesterday, you saw Todd Eklof all wet yesterday. You're going to see him all wet again today because he is out there at 7th and Hill. Any problems so far, Todd?
Yes, there is, Rachel. For one, I'm standing out in a lightning storm, which isn't too bright, under an umbrella. Yes, I'm here under this viaduct right here on Hill Street, just beyond 7th, and it is already flooding. There were a couple barricades left out here from yesterday, and just in the past 10 minutes when this rain started, it's already flooded. I've seen a couple of cars already dare to go through it, and the water was already up beyond the tires. So this is the kind of problem we're going to run into here this morning, especially as long as this heavy downpour begins. The water just doesn't have time to drain off in the drains. So this is just a typical problem. It started just 10 minutes ago, and we can expect this is going to be throughout our area. Barry, Rachel?
All right, thank you very much, Todd. Again, 7th and Hill, and he's already seen problems in the viaduct, and that rain started, what, about 10 minutes ago?
Well, 10, 15 minutes ago, that's right. And, of course, we want to remind him and the other crews that are out today to be careful if there's lightning in their area.
All right, now we want to head to, all right, I'm being told we're going to go back to Ken Schulz. That must mean we have another warning. Ken, what's the latest?
It's a severe thunderstorm warning for folks in Grayson County this morning. Grayson County severe thunderstorm warning until 5 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Can we take a quick look at NextRad radar? I'm kind of throwing our producer and directors up there into a tizzy. But if you can see on radar, there's Louisville. We have some intense thunderstorms right over downtown now. You travel down that red line into Breckenridge and Grayson counties. We have a line of intense and severe thunderstorms in southern Breckenridge County, again under a warning until 6. And now the western sections of Grayson County, you're getting some severe weather. You are under a warning until 5 o'clock Central Daylight Time. And the threat exists for severe weather and heavy thunderstorms again in the region through this early morning hour. Maybe a break coming up here later this morning, early this afternoon, like yesterday, with another round later on this afternoon. Complete forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Ken, and just let us know when we need to come back to you.
Will do.
All righty, now we want to head out to Chris Turner, who is live this morning at 3rd and Eastern Parkway. Again, another trouble spot yesterday.
Well, Chris, are you seeing any flooding at 3rd and Eastern?
Not as of yet, but like Todd said, we heard a thunderclap about 5:28 this morning, just a couple of minutes before we came on the air, and boom, the heavy rain here, and a good gust of wind, too. Maybe you can see the rain as it's blowing from the west here. Down that way is the intersection with 3rd Street and Eastern Parkway and the railroad viaduct there. That flooded yesterday, as well as the railroad viaduct back this way behind the camera near Winkler and 3rd Street as well. And of course, there's the possibility for that happening today as well. If we can look down to the street, Forrest Clem, our photographer, you can already see the water starting to pool here. And on further back down 3rd Street, I can see a police officer who's standing by parked here, waiting just in case that officer has to take actions to close 3rd Street to traffic. But right now, with this storm moving in, the wind's picking up and the heavy rain, and certainly the water's starting to pool, which if this viaduct fills up here fairly quickly, certainly be a dangerous situation. You remember when we had the last time had rain of this substance back in August 1992, there was a person who died here in Louisville trying to negotiate a flooded viaduct with the high water there. And so that's something you want to be very careful about this morning on your drive into work. If you see standing water in front of you, stop. You don't want to try to go through that because it may look okay, but the looks certainly are deceiving. And Rachel, we're going to try to get out of the rain here if we can find some other cover. Back to you.
I was going to say, Chris, poor thing.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for you all this morning. We'll be with them, I guess, all day today.
Absolutely. Well, in Breckenridge County, as more rain prepares to fall this morning, residents are still trying to clean up a mess left by yesterday's storms. Take a look at what strong winds did to these two mobile homes in the Irvington area. They were ripped apart. Several homes lost power as telephone poles and power lines were toppled over. Most of the serious damage concentrated in a small area along the Breckinridge County-Meade County line, which is getting it again this morning.